What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the Yuma Seen Podcast with myself, Eric Castanos. I don't know why I said because I definitely know my own name. Welcome to the very first episode of the Yuma Seen Podcast. This is a podcast that I have been wanting to do for quite some time. No excuses why it never happened. It just one of those things that did not take priority, but it's now taking priority. So I think because of the circumstances that I am in now, I now have I guess I've always had the capabilities, but I now have no excuse or no lame excuse on why I should not have my own podcast. And, it's just about time. So without getting all in detail about it, this is it. A little bit about Yuma Seen and the whole idea of Yuma Seen and what this podcast is to be for you guys to expect. I know previously on my YouTube, I posted videos and people thought that was a podcast, but it really wasn't. It was just like an announcement that I was going to be making videos, and I have been making videos, not as much as I would like because, I get busy and I'm a one-man band for my own content, but I'm trying my best. But a podcast is something that, podcasting in general is something that I've always, since I've started doing it, I've grown an appreciation for it, and especially not just the listening part, but the act of podcasting is something that I've really appreciated because it's something that it really helped me as an individual. I think this last year has been an amazing year. 2019 was amazing. It was full of growth and new experiences, like every year should, but I met a lot of amazing people and I had a lot of really amazing opportunities, which led me to the position that I'm in now, which is owning this studio. Okay, I guess we're renting the building, but having this studio with my partner, Jer. Not like gay loving partners, but like business partners. This is Orale Collective is what it is. Orale Collective, we're located on 7th Ave and 16th Street. And what we are is we're a creative agency, essentially, the easiest way to explain it. Jared and I have been friends for the last couple of years, and we've worked together closely. I use him for a lot of my stuff, and he uses me as well. And, over the years, we've collaborated on a lot of different projects. So we just thought it made sense to get a space, and, here we are. And when we got this space, we knew that there was a lot of different things we could do with this space, and a couple of those things were for short photos, and maybe we can produce podcasts out of it. But regardless, it's a workspace for us to come and do our work and be able to shut the shut the door and turn it off. We all know, as I hate the word entrepreneur, but I don't hate it. I typically rather not use it. But when you own your own business, it never really shuts off, but the act of trying to shut it off is helps a little bit. So, but it's just nice to have our own space now. It's beautiful. There's a lot of different things we want to do. Like I said, doing shoots would be so fun. We've already done a couple doing shoots in here, producing podcasts, working out of here, and having the ability just to host people and doing hosting workshops. Jared and I have been in the talks of doing not only things like calligraphy workshops, but even how-to workshops as far as how to use your guys' DSLRs. I know a lot of you guys out there have asked me and Jer on separate occasions. I have this DSLR at home. I don't know how to use it. Could you guys teach me how to use it? And, I put a couple of people on hold, like, hey, you know what? We just got this space. If you guys can, hold on for a little bit, we're going to put that together and, teach you guys how to use those DSLRs and, even workshops on how to make the most of your iPhone and photography. And because a lot of people that we know, they have kids, and, some of the best things to take photos of is your kids, man. They're full of personality. And, if you can utilize, and even just life, not even just kids, but life. And if you know how to use, your iPhone, your smartphone's camera abilities to the best of your ability, the more memories you can capture, and the more memories, the better. The more memories, the better. But yeah, to be honest, I have some notes right here that I put down for myself because I haven't done podcasts in a while, and I guess to kind of regroup back to what I was saying in the beginning, the whole hopes for this podcast thing it's another way on a personal level. This podcast is something for me to exercise my mind a little bit. One thing that I've learned with having numerous podcasts over the years, it's really helped me gain introspective. It's helped me be introspective. It really helped me learn how to conversate, and it really helped me learn how to think, and it really taught me how to speak. And podcast is an interesting thing, for people that have done them. You know what I mean? It's a there's something that happens when you have a podcast and you speak freely and vulnerably, as you should in your everyday lives. But when you have a podcast to accompany that, it's almost like a mirror that gets held up to you, and it holds you accountable, because the things that you say on this microphone and the things that I say to you guys are, the intention when I sit in front of this mic and I sit in front of this camera is to be as vulnerable and to be as honest as I can as possible, because, you know, it's only going to help if it can help anybody out there. If it helps one person, if it helps two people, that's amazing. And on a personal level, this show is not only to help me exercise my mind and my thoughts and my day-to-day life, or anybody else in the same position as myself. It's also, the point of this podcast is also, other than my personal goals, it's also to connect with people in the local area. That's hence the name Yuma Seen. Yuma Seen was an idea that I've had for a very long time, and the origins came from actually when I was at the Art Institute of Phoenix. At the Art Institute of Phoenix, one of our projects, like very first week, was to create almost a brand, and I can't remember the details of the project, but I have had this idea of Yuma Seen for a very long time, and not only was it a project that was brought up in the beginning of my college career, but actually my senior project in college, I revamped the Yuma Seen idea, and the whole idea behind it was to highlight, creatives in the Yuma area. So whether if that was skateboarding, music, art, it's just to connect with like-minded individuals in the city, and not only even in the city. It doesn't mean, if you grew up, the only way you can be on this podcast or talk to me is if you're from Yuma. It's not the case at all. We just, my whole goal as an individual, well, one of them as an individual, is to give back to the soil that, I was grown in. And for me, I'm very prideful of my Yuma heritage, and I have been since I was a kid. We all know, if you're from Yuma, the whole joke is, Yuma, California. Everybody in Yuma wants to go somewhere else. You want to go to Phoenix, you want to go to California, and all that is valid and all that is amazing, and opportunities do lie in abundance in those cities. But I've always believed, for me, everybody's different. For me, I felt my true meaning is to come back home and to give back to the city with the things that I know how to do. And I'm not saying I'm this magical being or anything. I know the abilities that I have and I trained for, and what I went to school for, frankly, and the things that I'm trained in and the abilities that I have, and to be able to do that for my own community, whether if it's a wedding, whether if it's portraits, whether if it's design work, whether if it's, even this podcast, giving people the exposure, because not everybody has the ability to do this. It's getting easier and easier for people, but there's a lot that goes into podcasting, scouting the people, having a good conversation, like things of that nature. And I'm not saying I'm the best at it either, but I've done a couple where I feel like, I enjoy it enough to do it. Actually, I really enjoy doing podcasts, and I really enjoy talking to people. I really enjoy connecting to people, and this podcast is a way for me to do that. And I just, for me, like without sounding arrogant or too selfish, like, I do this for myself. I enjoy doing podcasts. I've always have, from Out of Line Perspective to Convos and Cafecitos to Stoked and Stroked and now to Yuma Seen. Like, all of those podcasts were amazing, and they were so much fun. And I'm thankful for every single episode and every single host that co-hosted with me and I co-hosted with. Like, to have that ability to talk to so many people is awesome. And and you would think, like, after like 3 podcasts that kind of didn't make it all the way. that I would quit, but I don't know. I really enjoy doing this stuff. It's so much fun, and to have the ability to sit here and shoot the shit with your friends with no distractions, or even to you know talk out loud to yourself. It's very therapeutic. For on a personal level, like I know myself as a creative and as an individual, like I can get kind of in my head. Okay, not kind of. I can get really in my head about things. I can overthink shit. I can overreact and overanalyze stuff that I shouldn't be overanalyzing. And I try my best as an individual to be the best I possibly can every single day, not for myself, but for my relationship, my family, my friends. The community I'm around. But you know, being a human is difficult at times. It can be hard. Life gets in the way, and not saying fucking boo hoo me or anything, but hold on, I'm gonna fix this shit. Sorry, people, but yeah, life has its challenges, and it will, and everybody will. But for me, having this podcast and even speaking out loud is just very therapeutic for me, because I'm one of those people that I'm a little chatty Cathy. I like to talk things out loud, and I like to play some mental gymnastics, as my friend Cara would say. And it's the way I've been. It's the way I've always been. I like to talk things out. I believe in, and and maybe sometimes I like to do it too quick. Some people need time, but I like to talk. All right, and it's interesting because you know when I don't do this podcast, and what I guess what this podcast, not this one, but just what podcasting and talking out loud really does for me is helps me exercise my thoughts, and it helps me just really understand what's going on in my brain. And and for that, when I don't do that, sometimes I feel like I don't know how to talk to people. It's really interesting, and this is like stuff that I've really only shared with my friends, because they're the ones that are around me. But it's interesting. Like, I've told my girlfriend this, I've told a couple of my friends this, and the closest people around me know, they've heard me say this before. It's like, it's interesting when you know, after a while, if they're not doing a podcast or just a podcast. The last one we've had is Convos and Cafecito, which is not over. It's hard to do that one, but no excuse. But when I do them on a regular basis, it really helps me stay sharp. Just because, it's not every day you have a conversation where, your first initial reaction is to grab your phone and your attention goes to the phone and not directly to the person in front of you. And I'm a victim of that as well. Like, I do that all the fucking time, and it's not good. Okay, we're still rolling. It's not good. And we all know these terrible habits we have because of social media. And, I'm the same way. And for me, the way I like to address that, because it's all about awareness, this podcast and podcasting helps that awareness. And, even right now as I'm speaking, like, maybe some of you are listening to this right now and you're like, Jesus Christ, dude, fucking pick a lane and just talk about something. But, like I said, a lot of this is just for me. And it's for me, and I'll put it out there. And if it helps somebody, amazing. But, this very first episode, I just kind of want to verbally vomit and try to explain some of these things on my list. But it really helps me as an individual. And if not, even if it's just podcasting, but even if it's, speaking out loud, or, writing is a big one that every time I put pen to paper, it seems to help as well. Anything to help aid my mental health. Nowadays mental health is a big thing, and it's something that is just as important as physical health. And I strongly believe that, and especially myself as a business owner and somebody that's an entrepreneur. We have to stay as sharp as we can, because there's nobody telling us, when to go to bed, when to wake up. Nobody telling us what to do or when to do it. And nobody's, it's a little bit more challenging. So we have to be fully accountable of our own lives. So, that's adulthood. But, there's another layer to that when you own your own business and stuff. You have to be your sharpest. I have to be as sharp as I can be for all of my clients. Otherwise, the money gets lost, the experiences dwindle, for all my clients and everybody that I have experiences with, I want them to be positive and, the best me they can possibly get. And like I said, not even just for my clients, but for myself, for my relationship, for my friends and my family, and, and hopefully all the guests that I want to have on in the future. So I told myself I was going to try to keep this fairly short, but maybe I'll just ramble on. Maybe now I can have fun now that I got all that shit out. So the Yuma Seen Podcast, the whole thing is to highlight individuals in the Yuma area, from music, art, skateboarding, anything, interesting individuals in the area. I'm more than happy to talk to, and it's not a fucking Rogan style podcast. Like, yes, I'm gonna have, I want to talk, but I want to keep this open ended until however I want. Expect cursing. It's just what it is. Expect it. It's gonna happen. There's probably gonna be some inappropriate shit. It's explicit as fuck. There it is. This is who I am. I'm not. It's what it is, dude. Not sorry. It's what it is. I'll try. I'm not Slob on the Pod, which is a great podcast. If you don't listen to Slob on the Pod, go listen to it. Highly inappropriate, but very funny and entertaining. Shout out to my cousin Jordan. But for me, I like to dive a little bit. No, that sounds like a comparison. This is just different. For me, it's not a PG-13 podcast. It's gonna be all over the place. It's definitely gonna be a little bit explicit. I'm not saying I'm gonna talk about inappropriate things 24/7. No. It's I just want to sit down and talk to people. It's fun for me. And why not? Because, the same reason why I want to do this is the same, I want to promote and provoke and create the opportunity to have more in-depth conversations with people, which is why most people start podcasts. So maybe I'm getting too far in the weeds about why I'm starting this podcast. I guess the real reason is because I can and because I want to, which is as honest as I can get. And I just want to talk to rad people, anybody. I am lucky enough to know the people that I do, and even more fortunate enough to be able to create the things I can create. So with that, I want to take full advantage. And we have this beautiful space. Like, look at this shit. It's fucking cool. So it's awesome. We have this ability. We have a space now. We can do cool shit. So I would be damned if I didn't take advantage of every square foot of this place. And Jer is in the same position. So, here's my desk. It moves around and shit. We have 300 square feet to make cool stuff. And this is how it starts. Orale Collective, 2020. It's fucking here, dude. And we're rolling fast. We just got this whole place painted. This shit was like a brown white. It sucked. The roof was purple, which was disgusting. Shit was falling, and now it's all white. And we have plants and shit. We're modern as fuck. It's very cool. And we have flasks with stickers on them. But I'm overjoyed, to be honest, about this whole opportunity. It's cool as fuck. I'm not going to lie. I keep looking here because I have my phone here, and I have 30 minutes. I'm at 20 minutes, so I have 10 minutes to wrap this up. But, just super excited. This is episode number 1, Yuma Seen. It's me just giving you guys my thoughts about this whole experience. Next episode, I'm going to have a guest. I'm going to try. Next episode, I'm going to have a guest. It's probably going to be Steven. It's probably going to be Jer. Steven's probably going to be a little pissed at me. I'm not going to lie. Because I made my own podcast. But I love Steven. And, I know him, and he's going to be very supportive of this because he's like a big brother and a mentor to me. And the same way he has Hidden Valley and his content is, the same way I have Orale Collective and my other entities, and this one for myself. So I'm really excited about this one. And this is something, if you guys known me for a while, and, I have a very, 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 very cool following. And the people that are following me on Instagram are usually people that I know. And I want to thank every single one of you guys for supporting all my work for all the years before I even started photography, when I was taking fucking pictures on my iPhone and just drawing cool shit with markers. Like, all you guys that from day one, and then now that I'm a designer and I take photos and I make videos, like, everybody that's been following me since day one, man, fucking all of you and people that continue to support me and show mad love on every single project that I put out. Like, thank every single one of you guys. And it's because of you guys and the Yuma community is why I'm even able to do shit like this, because, people pay money and money makes you able to do things in all reality. So we appreciate Jared and I say we, and my family as well, because, it doesn't just stop with me. It's my family, it's my girlfriend, it's friends and my small community. It's, it ain't just me anymore. But at the end of the day, you got to take care of you in order to take care of everybody else. And I think that was a big fire starter for doing this podcast is, I got to get my mind right and I got to do the things that I want to do in order to, accommodate with everybody else. So I'm very excited about this experience. I guess, is there anything else that I have? Yuma Seen Podcast Studio. Hopes for the studio. Hopes for the podcast. Why I started the podcast. I guess I kind of touched on all that stuff. I wanted to keep this one short. Everybody say hi to Oscar the plant. Oscar for Orale Collective. This is our first little plant. Hopefully I don't kill it. I probably will because I'm a millennial and I suck at keeping things alive. But yeah, we're super excited. So I guess I didn't talk about hosts for the studio. I talked about what we're doing. We also, I guess the last thing we also want to do is possibly rent out the space. It's a very beautiful space. I know a couple of you guys have reached out about possibly renting it. We're finishing stuff up. We're going to get paper rolls in here. And then we're trying to furnish the spot, get a little bit more of Oscars. And, we have these desks which are rolling. We're trying to get some stools as well. And, we're just trying to fucking do cool stuff, dude, because we can. And, we're right next to Sprouts, which is pretty rad. So if you're ever at Sprouts, just, send us a DM, come through. We're going to have Carne Asada Fridays. That's another thing, which is going to be sick. We're planning on doing Carne Asada Fridays, which is a plan. Carne Asada Fridays here out of the collective next door to the homies. I think it's SVG. Jerry LaCoco, the homie, the landlord. Best landlord ever, hands down. He's a shit. Shout out to Jerry LaCoco. But yeah. A lot of cool shit. Hopefully this, I wasn't trying to hype you up or ramp you guys up, but this is the only way I know how to do a first episode is just going for it. And if you guys hate it, then you hate it. But if you love it, you love it. And you'll be here for episode 2. But episode 2, your boy made his own podcast. It's about fucking time. So it's about fucking time. It's about motherfucking time. We have my own podcast. So we're here. Yeah. Shout outs to, all the, I just want to do this because shout outs to Jordan. Slob on the pod. Love it. Follow it. Amazing. Very inappropriate, but amazing. Steven. Convos Cabecito. Not over. Podcast still rolling. Just got to get on it. Everything that he's doing at Hidden Valley. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And all my friends, my family, everything that everybody's done for me. All the locals, all the creatives. This is a start of something, hopefully, that can be really fucking rad. So I know you guys know them. I know a couple of them. But send all of your local creatives my way. Send me their names. Send me their profiles. And let's get a podcast going. Let's do it. We got the space. We got the equipment. Let's fucking make it happen. All right? So this is what it's going to be. The show might evolve. Might do it here. Might do it outside. Might do it wherever we want. But for now, this is episode 1 of the Yuma Seen Podcast. It's not a pilot because I'm doing it. Forcing myself. But very excited, guys. Thank you for listening to the first episode. I wanted to keep it a shorty. 30, and I'm stopping about 25 minutes. So I didn't do too bad. But yeah, like I said, hope you guys enjoy it. If you come to the studio, take your shoes off at the door because it's disgusting. You're gonna get the place dirty, dude. I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you want. But that's it. I think. Yeah, that's it. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Next week we'll have a guest. Like I said, it's probably going to be Steven. It's probably going to be Jer. Probably going to be Jer because he's around more, and Steven always tells me to screw off. Just kidding. I love you. We'll see you guys. God, this is just as honest as it can be. I don't know if it'll be every week, maybe every 2 weeks, unless I can get an editor. If you guys know editors out there, maybe we'll make it happen. But I'm gonna try my best to do it every week, if not every 2 weeks. But we have the first step is the most important, so we're getting it out there. So yeah, I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna do it. This is gonna be my thumbnail video. This is gonna be the one that I put on my story and the one that I put on my feed that just launches this whole fucking thing. If you guys know creatives, and I know you do, I know a couple of them, you know a couple of them, Yuma creatives, if it's in music, art, any inspiring Yuma individuals. If you guys know inspiring Yuma individuals, send them my way, and I'm more than happy to have a conversation with them. We'll be down here at Orale Collective on 7th Ave and 16th Street. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for listening to the first episode. We'll catch you in episode 2. Doses.